across the nation and around the globe, charting the course for people and celebrities over the entire astrological universe, chasing down fun around every street corner. Pure Pollino starts now. Happy Tuesday, everybody. My name is Michelle Pollino, and this is Pure Pollino. And this is the day that we gaze up to the stars and we say to the heavens, oh, what do you have in store for us this week? And with me to help us define that every Tuesday is Rachel Lang.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Did we? Yeah, you know what? We never touched on. I know you went to Joshua Tree for New Year's.
Yes.
We didn't really talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, my hair. Somebody's telling me. Sarah's telling me my hair is messed up.
It looks great.
Yeah, good.
You fixed it.
Thank you. So this is Pure Pollino Tuesdays, stargazing Thursdays. It's all about the yumminess that goes into our soul and our tummy. And we talk food. This week, I'm pretty excited about it. Christina Topham, she's a chef that she's basically a chef on the high seas. She does a lot of yacht work, and she also is a personal chef here in LA. She's very spiritual. She also went out to Joshua Tree.
You're kidding?
Yeah,
for New Year's?
Yeah.
Integratron.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that on Thursday. But she's pretty incredible soul and spirit.
Very cool.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the infusion of spirituality and food.
I love it. Which you meet
I
right
meet
in the middle
right
of those two things.
Right. So today we are really excited because we are welcoming into the studio Tisha Morris. She is a Feng Shui consultant, a trainer, a speaker, and author of the book Mind, Body, Home.
Which is great.
You've read it.
Such a good book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't lie now and pretend that I read it. Transform your life one room at a time, but I would never lie to you. She also wrote the book Feng Shui Your Life, the quick guide to decluttering your home and renewing your life. Now, I haven't talked to her at all, but I found that she might have wrote another book, which is called 27 Things to Feng Shui Your Home With.
Correct.
Good.
That's right.
Okay. And then I also read that 27 is a very, very spiritual number because when added together, they create the number 9.
Right.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
The number of the visionary.
Right, which is John Lennon's dream. But why not just write a book called 9 Things to Feng Shui Your Home instead of 27?
Because it would be really short.
And there it is. There it is. But we're really excited about Tisha. I can't wait to corner her. She combines her intuitive healing energy, Feng Shui techniques, and design aesthetics. She has a fine arts degree. She was a former corporate lawyer. So take all that into account, and she comes into your house and just busts it wide open. She turns challenging spaces into supportive environments. Of course, she's a Cancer, which is also very interesting.
Yes.
Considering what she does. Both Rachel and I are very excited about this show today. And of course, we're going to open up the lines, take your calls and questions in the chat room. Just in case you're feeling stuck in your home or in your life in any way, clearing out the clutter in your home helps everything. It's a very supportive way to not only decluttering your home. It not only declutters your home, but it declutters your life. You take that spirit and energy with you outside of your home.
Exactly. And actually, in her book, she talks about the relationship between your space and yourself.
Really?
And how it's a reflection. Your space is a reflection of where you are. And so if you want to change something in your life,
change your space.
Change your space.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to have a lot of fun with Tisha. But before that, we're going to get to all the stuff that Rachel and I do before any guest arrives. For me, before we get into the whole thing with Tish, this is a pretty crazy week, astrologically speaking. I say crazy when I really mean moody, expansive, intuitively.
Did you say expensive?
Expansive.
And both.
And expensive. Right.
Expensive too.
It's interesting because, again, like I said, Tish is a Cancer. This week, it's all about the crab. Wednesday, we have a full moon in Cancer. Mm-hmm. Actually, the moon's in Cancer today, I believe. Then Sunday evening, the sun enters Aquarius. So coming off an emotionally pulling full moon, we're going to dive right into the unorthodox and mental energies of Aquarius. These two energies are solar systems apart. They really are. But it's so funny because I dated a lot of Aquarian Cancers.
Well, they really?
Yes.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Well, that makes sense.
It totally
it fits your Pisces
Aries
cusp.
Yeah.
But I think traditionally the ruler of Aquarius was Saturn, which is the same ruler as Capricorn. So in some ways they still have enough of a similarity with that. Saturn is limitation, restriction,
right.
discipline,
right.
commitment.
Daddy. I just call it
daddy.
the daddy.
It is. It's a daddy. It's your dad. So Aquarius still has a little bit of that, and that plays out in a way that it keeps them very, very fixed.
Yeah.
And very opinionated.
Yes, for sure. So this week we also still have that retro Venus in Capricorn. And I think this full moon's going to trigger a lot of relationships issues. So get ready for some leaks in the boat for sure this week.
Definitely.
Because if there's no leaks, somebody's going to kick the leak out of the boat. It's going to be that kind of week as far as relationships go. But it can be hard work kind of looking at our values in love. And I think that's, again, retro Venus in Capricorn kind of ruling your daddy. It's looking at your values. This is what we're kind of looking at, sort of like Feng Shuiing our homes. We're going to be Feng Shuiing our love life this week.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good way to put it.
All right.
Because it's forcing us to kind of look at what's not working. Clean it out.
Clean out the clutter.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we're having Tisha on today because what she says today will apply to your love life. So what we talk about today, it's not just about your home. It's also going to be about your love life this week. So keep that in mind. Before we get to the scopes, because I know I want to get to the scopes real quick, I want to say, hey, and welcome back to Sarah Jane. Can we get her on camera? Hey, Sarah.
Hey, everyone. I'm
so welcome back.
Thank you.
You've been away. You've been in Florida.
I was away. I was far, far away, 3,000 miles away.
So is it good to be back home, sort of, where you're living?
Yeah, secretly. I love LA. I'm so glad to be back and be here with everyone.
Good.
So.
Well, we're happy to have you back.
We are. We
Thank
really
you.
missed you.
I'm worried about this astrological week, though.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. You know what? It's actually this is kind of the tension from this week is going to break open a whole lot of stuff that needs to be broken open in relationships. And so that kind of sets us up to get into February, which is the month of love.
That's correct. See, it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
And the Venus retrograde cycle is very clarifying, as Rachel said. It's going to be clarifying and healing as we kind of examine what we truly want instead of kind of what sometimes we're led down a path by our parents, and that's okay because they're supposed to teach us how to love and how to be loved. But what if we weren't taught that by them? What if we got their kind of bad stuff as well? This is the week to kick that stuff off the boat. This is
wow.
This is the week to do it.
Yeah.
So.
And it makes sense because so much we depend on our parents as babies to survive.
Yeah.
And so we make decisions, beliefs. Our brain gets wired in a certain way in those very first months of life.
That's
and
correct.
Years of life.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and if you had a really bad tragedy in your childhood early on, it will affect your relationships throughout your life. And so, this is a good week to kind of try and break that pattern.
Clean house.
Clean house.
All right, speaking of cleaning house, let's clean up some houses with going through the signs.
Horoscopes.
Yeah.
Great. And actually,
Awesome.
I did post these on my Tumblr page.
Oh, nice.
And I tweeted the link to that. So
right. And we will have them in this week's newsletter,
Yes.
which we will have out this week, I promise you. And you can go sign up for that at purepollino.com. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. All right.
My hair, it's crazy.
Michelle's trying new hairstyles.
It's the Snooki.
She's bringing back the
It is
bouffant.
I am.
There we go. That's
I was a huge 52s fan, by the way. Just huge.
that doesn't
right.
surprise me.
Yeah. It just doesn't work. All right, Aries.
All
What do we
right.
got for our Aries?
Actually, we're
first?
starting with Capricorn.
Oh, you're going to start with
I'm
Capricorn.
going to start with Capricorn
All right.
again because we are the last week of Capricorn. So let's make the most of it.
Give love to our Capricorn friends.
So Capricorns this week is all about your ambition, your drive. The full moon brings you answers to the burning questions in your heart, especially with regard to love. So pay attention to all signs and signals and be open to revelations.
And you can also howl at the moon if you feel like it.
You know what? That would really open the gateway.
So Capricorns get a little crazy.
Capricorns get crazy because Venus is still in your sign and it may be going retrograde, but the love is flowing for you.
Nice.
Although it might bring this week some awkward encounters with lovers from your past.
Oh man, doesn't that suck?
Yeah. So that's part of like cleaning the house.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Great. All right, Aquarius, you've got brilliant ideas this week. And it's a perfect time to start any kind of new project that involves writing, that involves communication. It's a great time to sort of solidify any career plans or career goals moving forward. And sort of on another note, on a completely separate note, it's a really good time for you to sort of get in touch with your spiritual essence and release any shame or guilt. Because you're sort of in a very fertile time where you scatter your seeds and then the harvest comes next month. So this is a significant week for you in releasing, really letting go.
Good. Release yourself. Okay, go.
All right, Pisces.
Okay, go.
That's Michelle.
That's me.
It's juicy. It's a juicy week for you. Yeah,
nice.
It really is.
I need a little juicy
It's
fruit
really
in my
good.
life. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The sweetness, romance, tenderness. It's really you've got Venus, you've got the moon, you've got Jupiter, all nicely aspecting your sign.
Okay, nicely tucked away in my bed.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Full moon in Cancer on
Right.
Wednesday dials you into a spiritual channel. And you might have a difficult time keeping your feet on the ground with all that powerful energy. It's a really focused energy, really powerful energy. You're sort of like in touch with the whole cosmos. So it's a great time to meditate,
And
pray.
we're around 20 degrees with this full moon? Good. Okay.
Yeah. So especially if you're like
Late.
March Pisces, this is going to especially hit you. It's the highlight of your week, I think, is going to be new pathways of love.
It's about time.
Friends and lovers showing up in your life in significant ways.
Good.
And,
no old lovers, right?
No old lovers. No, not for Pisces.
Okay.
For Aquarius. So, no.
Okay.
All right. Aries.
Go ahead.
Sarah Jane.
Go ahead. Well, she's a Taurus. 0 degrees.
Oh that's right. You're a Taurus.
No,
I don't know why. I always
Don't take
always
the Aries
Because she's
from me.
0 degrees Taurus.
I think that's why you've got some Aries. I always look at you and think Aries.
I could be half and half.
Yeah. You could.
Like an
The
Oreo.
mix.
Like an Oreo. Or the cream that we put in our coffee.
So Aries.
My mind is
in the gutter today.
particularly mercurial.
That's great. We're having fun.
I love being
today's show.
here. I missed you guys.
I missed you too. So Aries, as the sign of the ram, you have a knack for getting what you want or bulldozing into it. And this week, rather than push your way in the door, gently knock and it will be opened. Try subtlety in love and in work, and you'll find that others bend to your will. But you have to soften your approach and practice compassion. If you're chasing somebody, Aries, if you're sort of on the love chase, relax and let go. If the person doesn't come back to you, then don't waste your time.
Yeah, that butterfly needs to be free.
Totally. Yeah. Taurus. Now we
got
Sarah
her.
Jane.
Okay.
Okay, so Taurus, this week's full moon fuels the fires of your passion.
Oh.
Yeah, romance.
Yeah, I'm an Aries.
Oh, come on.
No. Romance is the main ingredient in all of your activities.
Interesting.
So stir in a little bit of spice and try new things.
Yeah, it's just like making food. It's
It
beautiful.
is. It really is. Making food, being in love.
Yep. Gemini.
Yep. Gemini, mental faculties to tackle tough decisions this week.
Okay.
Analyze everything, arrive at objective, strategize. It's a highly creative time.
Nice.
Lots of opportunities getting ready to open up for you.
Good.
And especially with financial decisions and things that you're working on.
Nice.
You need some physical activity this week, though. So mix up your workout routine, add hiking, add outdoor activities to fill your lungs with some fresh air.
Okay.
Cancer.
Okay, this is a good
Cancer,
week.
this is a week. This is a good week for you. Solid week for you. Your loyalties get tested this week as you realize which friends you can trust and which friendships have perhaps expired. So here, Cancers, you're especially going to be clearing house in terms of relationships.
Right.
You need to hold people accountable, especially colleagues in work. And so if people are making promises to you, hold them accountable. Tread carefully down new paths and leave a trail of breadcrumbs in case you need to find your way back to where you began.
Okay.
Leo.
Okay, our favorite little Leos.
Yeah, Leo.
Our little Leo lions.
And Leo, this weekend, the moon enters Leo, and so this is a weekend to go out and play, meet new friends, enjoy concerts, get out of the house, and I think you have an opportunity to really meet some significant people who would really help your business. So this is a great time for that. Get organized. Start planning your summer vacation because you're gonna, it's winter and Leos need sun, and so
Leos need fun.
They need fun.
They need
so
fun.
Do
and
things
fun.
to keep yourself warm.
Right. All right. Our favorite Virgos.
Virgo. Romantic interests tug your heartstrings. Yeah. They've got that, the nice Venus in Capricorn.
We were talking about this before we walked into the studio. So.
We were, yes. Yeah, Virgo. So romantic interests tug your heartstrings in a few different directions. So you've got some options. And because you have a tendency to overthink things and overanalyze things,
don't analyze.
You could go down to a very dark place of no return. So stop. Just keep it simple. Have fun.
Right.
Play. Enjoy being the center of attention.
Nice for once.
Yeah, definitely.
Libras.
Your powers of indecision reach a peak this week. You've got like all these squares happening for you, and all this. You're kind of like in the middle of all this tension, this Cancer Capricorn tension.
You are. You're smack dab.
Fun. So the full moon on Wednesday kind of heightens that tension. And so give yourself give yourself permission to take a break from feeling like you need to commit to anything. Isn't that great? I like that.
I'm sure you like that. Of course
I don't have to commit to anything.
Every Libra likes not committing.
Yes.
So
true. You don't have to know the answers. And also, this is also a week of saying your truth, no matter how much it disappoints people.
That's a tough one.
Because that will keep you out of indecision and help with some of that complication. In work, double check all your details and don't overlook anything because things might add to that tension.
Okay.
Scorpio.
Yay.
Scorpio. This week brings focus into your home. So if you want to change your life, change your surroundings. And so, it's so much what we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about a lot of this.
Yeah.
So.
Changes are imminent, so create some space for the new in your life. If you want more commitment and love, empty a drawer, or empty a space in your closet.
Interesting.
So that you can prepare for that one that's coming in.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. We'll talk to Tish about that.
Yeah, this Scorpio's 2014 is a big commitment year for you. So create space for the new. It's also highly creative, so use that energy to manifest something spectacular in career or in love or in any area of your life.
Beck is back. We want to say hi to Beck.
Hi.
She's back in the chat room. So
one of our favorite Libras.
Yep.
All right, Sagittarians.
Yay.
All right. Okay. So Sagittarius, this is a creative time for you, but you might not necessarily know how to focus that creativity. So just think brilliant thoughts, write them all down, start any writing projects or any projects that you've been dreaming about, and eventually you'll focus all that energy into one area, one specific project. There are a few energetic blocks, and so writing and processing will help clear those. You're dreaming and planning stages, so manifestation will follow, but you need to focus and set your intentions and dream and plan big.
And take it slow.
It's
all good to take it slow.
Yeah.
All right. Right now, we are going to be bringing in Tish Morris into the studio. But first, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Pure Pollino. Welcome back to Pure Pollino. My name is Michelle Pollino. That is simply one of my favorite songs.
It's so great.
The band is called Hem, and she was compared to Joni Mitchell when they first came out. The song ended up getting picked up by a car commercial. That's probably where people are most familiar with it. But it's a beautiful song. And you are listening to Pure Pollino on ubnradio.com. Michelle Pollino with you, along with Rachel Lang. On Tuesdays, we gaze up to the sky and say, what the hell are you doing to us this week? On Thursdays, it's all about what the hell am I putting in my mouth? No, on Tuesdays, astrology, spirituality. On Thursdays, it's all about food and culinary culture. Now, today, we're pretty excited because we welcome into the studio Tisha Morris. She is a Feng Shui consultant, trainer, speaker, and author of Mind, Body, Home, which is a way to transform your life one room at a time. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. You want to move up? Sarah, can we move up her microphone or get her closer to that? Thank you. So you also wrote 27 things to Feng Shui your home and Feng Shui your life, the quick guide to decluttering your home and renewing your life. You're a Feng Shui expert, lady. You are the Feng Shui expert, aren't you? A little bit?
I try.
Yeah.
She is. She's being humble about it.
No, there's no humility in this room. None. None. We all boast loudly about our great aspects of ourselves. So you were a former lawyer, right? A corporate lawyer, right?
Yes.
So and you also have your fine arts. You have a degree in fine arts.
Right.
So you did interior design, corporate law. How the hell did you end up here as an author of 3 Feng Shui books?
Right. So it's a bit of a windy path.
A little bit.
A little bit. Had they had a Feng Shui major at my university, it may have been a little bit more direct.
Okay.
But about 2 days into practicing law, I realized it was
2
not.
days.
About 2 days.
After all that school.
Yes. Well, when I went to school, it really was, I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah, nobody does.
And so that's why everyone becomes lawyers, because
Right.
they don't know what else to do.
That's so funny that you said that, because I was at an event last week and I met this lawyer and he's like, yeah, so many of us are at that point in our lives where we really don't want to be lawyers anymore. Nobody
Yeah.
really does.
Mm-hmm. I think it was kind of a default field that
Yeah.
so many people went into before, like, all these opportunities are here in today's economy.
Right.
And so, now we get to be creative and be who we want to be that didn't exist.
Right.
10,
now that you have some
20
money
years
tucked
ago.
away. And that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. And the skills. I think that there are skills that come with that, too, that you carry into other
Lawyering?
other
Sure.
avenues. Yeah,
Lawyering?
lawyering.
Well,
Is that a word?
Actually, I secretly want to write, like, John Grisham novels.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure you will with
my-
that Capricorn
my
rising.
Yes,
lawyer
totally.
side will reemerge.
I know.
one
I'm
day.
sure you will. So I want to talk a little bit about what you do and how you do it. You incorporate inspirations from Chinese medicine, yoga, because I believe you're a yoga instructor as well. What don't you do? Buddhism, shamanism, sacred geometry, which I personally have never thought geometry was sacred. But actually, astrology is kind of like
It
sacred
is.
geometry.
They're very tied in together based on the principles of harmonics. No, I'm going to get really geeky.
Yeah, you are. It has nothing to do with ebonics. Reconnective healing, numerology. You take all these into account when you go into your Feng Shui practice with people, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to take a more intuitive approach. The traditional Feng Shui rules. I'm not big on rules in general, and so I like to take a more intuitive approach. And when I go to someone's space, I often get asked questions of like what I should and shouldn't do, and that just doesn't sit right with me or feel right for them or myself. And so taking a more intuitive approach and really building on all the sciences and arts that I've learned, whether it's interior design or yoga. I always say that Feng Shui is basically yoga for the home. It's about removing blocks, getting the energy flowing.
Yeah, I think you also said, I'm going to try to find that other quote. You said, sometimes our homes are mirrors of our bodies. Feng Shui is like yoga for the home. I love that because I love yoga.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get what it does to the body. So tell me what exactly Feng Shui, tell me what it is. What does it do? I mean, I know I go into my house and I smudge it when it's new. Is that what Feng Shui is?
That's part of it. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Feng Shui has obviously been around for thousands of years,
Right.
And so there is something that's been around for so long. These principles really are something to them, and there's a lot of more modern day application of Feng Shui. And there's lots of textbook definitions, and actually the Feng Shui is originally used to find where to set up plots or sites or houses, and it was actually more in our modern era that was brought into the home and how we know of it as today.
Right.
My definition is for Feng Shui is having your home support you,
Right.
and loving every inch of your home. So
Boy, I need you right now.
We all do actually
Yeah,
this
I
week
know,
with all
I
that
know.
Cancer Capricorn influence.
So really what you do is you go in and walk us through it. Walk us through what you do when you go into a home. Is it do you get a feeling? Is there a feeling in your gut, your mind, your soul? What is it? Do you move towards that area?
Yeah, I come to a space almost like a detective, and I usually have some background from the client of what they want to improve upon in their life or what's challenging them, and then I will find it somewhere in the house. All of our house is a mirror for ourselves, and so all of our neuroses, every aspect of ourselves can be found somewhere in the home. And so I'm going around like a little detective, and so we find whether it's a attic space or a dining room unused or an art piece from a great grandfather with negative energy, whatever it is, we find it and we shift it, and the energy shifts, and you'll be amazed at how their life situation shifts.
Do you shift it with these techniques that I kind of rambled on a few minutes ago, like all those?
Sure. I mean, there's
I'm just asking.
it can be as simple as like literally just moving a couch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You actually physically shift it.
Yes.
I was thinking,
Smudging.
I'm thinking something.
No,
more
I mean,
spiritual.
smudging's great too. I mean, that's definitely a component that's very important. If I can get everyone in the country smudging their house, then my work is
Why
done.
is it important?
Actually, wait, you do smudge spray too.
Mm-hmm.
So there are ways to smudge without
the
smoke.
smoke?
That's right.
I
yeah.
like the smoke. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but I do.
Yeah, so you can use a smudge spray. You can use smoke, the sage smoke. You can use bells. There's all kinds of methods. But think about when you first move into a space. First thing you do is want to clean it.
Right.
Get the previous germs out. Well, there's a whole other world of energy going on that you're not seeing, and that's their energy. Everyone else who's lived in that space before you.
Right.
And so you really want to start out on a clean slate.
Right.
And not live in their energy.
Right. Because that would suck.
Yeah. Unless they were
Unless they were really
right.
really amazing and
Yes.
wealthy human beings, then
That's
you
right.
can sit in that space and
That's
be like,
right.
man, life is easy. How'd I get this lucky? How can the average person apply it in their home besides, maybe spraying your spray or taking a smudge stick? What can
Yeah.
they do? Like, I'll use me as an example. I have no problem. I'm going nuts in my house right now. I am there 24/7, and I record all of my stuff. I do stations across the country, but I also am in my house all the time, and it drives me nuts. I mean, and so the energy is work, even when I get up. So
It's a 4 house.
what does that mean?
In numerologically,
Oh.
Tisha writes a little bit, or talks a little bit about numbers of homes too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Every space has its own personality, its own energy, and the numerology of a space is very indicative of that energy. So a 4 house is going to be very work based.
It is?
Yeah, and so
You would think 4 is a home house.
Well, I mean, it is that too.
it's connected.
Because
4
it's-
is connected to Virgo, actually, not Cancer.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought 6 was connected. I hope we're probably...
Libra is 6.
Really?
Harmony, balance, partnership, relationships.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for someone at the 4 house, you have to go out of your way to incorporate play. Oh, that's rhymes. Go out of your way to incorporate play into your 4 house, and so really setting up boundaries for your workspace and then your personal home space.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, how can you smudge your own space, or do you need someone to come in and do it for you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and the answer's both, depending on depending on why you're smudging. If you're just doing a general maintenance smudging, or like when you first move into a house, you can do it yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're smudging something that's you're a little too close to energetically,
Right.
It's hard to smudge ourself.
I smudge myself all the time.
Oh my God. See, her mind goes right
It just
back.
goes right there. It just
It starts on the spiritual path, and then it's
And then
like,
it goes-
oh, there's a gutter. I'm going to take a detour.
It's so true. Oh, those gutters look gleam, and they gleam to me.
Yeah, that's great. Now, where were we? Were we clearing? You have a lot about clearing clutter, and we have somebody in the chat room that is talking about clearing clutter, that once they did, it's like they became so productive. Let's talk about why you need to clear clutter in a home.
Yeah, and that's actually what I consider the first step in Feng Shui, or the first thing that you can do. It's removing what's not working for you, or removing what's no longer in your highest and best interest. It's really just taking up valuable space for new energy to come in. And so it is the most powerful thing you can possibly do in your home. Yeah, it's amazing. And I mean, the things I witness with clients and people that are doing my courses is just amazes me.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me an example. I want to know. Like, give me one great example. Oh, and I also want to know about ghosts. But go ahead. Am I getting ahead of myself? I'm sorry.
I just had a client mention to me yesterday, actually, that her husband moved this picture, kind of got rid of a picture of his great-grandfather that was right in his wealth corner. And when I was at the house, I picked up on it as kind of being an energetic block, some old energy from past generations. And so he moved that, cleared out the corner of clutter, and all of a sudden things financially were opening up, new opportunities. So these are just stories I hear practically every day from people, and it really is as simple as just getting rid of some things that aren't working for you. And it could be anything from a pair of jeans to just your office clutter. Could be old files. I had a challenge this week with my Mind Body Home challenge of getting rid of old journals.
Really?
And that really just opens up a whole new vacuum of space, of mental and emotional space,
right?
And like allowing new memories to come in, new opportunities. So it's really all about energy. It's about clearing out old energy, allowing new energy to come in.
Right. You said something that's very interesting to me. You said he had a picture hanging in his wealth corner. Are there corners in your house that are love corners, wealth corners? Like, yes. Can we talk about that for a minute? Yeah, I'd love to know what my wealth corner is. Like everybody wants to know what their wealth corner is.
I know. There's these what I consider energy portals in our home that we're really underutilizing because we don't have just because we're not aware of it. And so we have it's called the Bagua map, and it's
Bagua.
Yes.
BAGWA.
GUA. Yes.
GUA. Okay. And
basically, if you were to draw a tic-tac-toe board over your floor plan.
Okay, which I do all the time.
Yes, I know. And so you come out with 9 squares, and these are all facets of your life. Very similar to the houses in astrology, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really interesting. Mm-hmm. And so how do you attribute those? What do you attribute to those facets? Do you say, oh, okay, we'll start here with money? Is that how it goes?
Well, it's the Bagua map has been around for thousands of years.
Oh, so on the Bagua map it says it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, we have a question. If you could explain a little bit. So the question is, someone's feng shuied their place with the Bagua direction based on the location of the door. Mm-hmm. But how do you approach that? How would you direct someone to use the Bagua map?
Yeah. So there's different schools of feng shui. I follow the more Western version of feng shui, and we in the West we're a little more egocentric. In the East, they're a little more earth-centric. But I like the egocentric, not in an ego way, but because it's all about how our human energy comes into the space.
Right.
And so for that reason, the front door is the way that the Western version aligns the Bagua map. And so so it's even if you don't use your front door as your main entrance, it's still the intended vessel of energy coming into the space. So that's the way I and most people in the West orient the Bagua map.
We have one more question before we go to break. Can you change the number of your house? Did you? Yeah, I got it. Can you change the number of your house without changing anything else? Is the question in the chat room. But guess what? I'm going to hold you to that. And we're going to take a break, go to commercial, and when we come back, we're going to have that answer. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Bob Merrick, the host of The Bob Show, the official morning show here on UBN Radio. We like to accentuate the positive in pop culture, human interest stories.
Oh, I love it. Okay, great. It's good.
and I don't know what else. Check us out from 9 to 11 a.m. on ubnradio.com.
We are experts at video production. We have crews in over 100 cities and the finest editors in the world. It's fun to create your videos, and that's what we love doing. We're good at that. But the most important thing is, how do you use those videos? How do you leverage your video investment? We provide all the platforms to do that. Website design, social media, SEO, PR, and television. And all of those components do a dance that work in tandem with each other for a comprehensive marketing campaign that really helps grow your business.
We're the kids your parents warned you about.
And now we have kids of our own.
Hi, I'm Sean Kanan.
And I'm Michelle Kanan. Listen to us on Kanan's Rules Wednesdays and Fridays on UBN Radio.
Very good, babe. Nice work.
Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
All right, welcome back to Pure Pollino. And today we are Feng Shuiing your home with author Tisha Morris. My name is Michelle Pollino and Rachel Lang. It is Stargazing Tuesdays here at ubnradio.com. And we wanted to answer a question from the chat room. Pony asked, can you change the number of your house without moving? Is there a fix you can do?
So first, let me explain that every space, every home has its own soul.
Oh, really?
It has its own personality. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so when you move into a space, it's very much like entering a new relationship. And so your question is almost like, can I change that person? Or how much can I change that person? Mm-hmm. And so with numerology, it's really... Some people can try to, but to me, you should embrace the personality and the energy of the space.
It's like changing. It's like you're dating somebody
Yeah,
and you want
right.
to change
Exactly.
them.
Right.
You can't do it, Pony. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You love it or leave it.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Everybody's asking about the Bagua map and how they can get one. Another question is, what if you don't? What if you share a space? You want to go on?
My website, you can get a Bagua map.
Great.
And it's in the book, too. So
Okay.
And she has an app as well.
Oh, yeah, the app.
Oh, tell us all about these things, Tish.
Yeah, there's an app for that, too.
I love apps.
Feng Shui on the go. So
Is that what your app is called?
it's called Feng Shui Bagua Map.
Oh.
So you can search that in
heck.
iTunes.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Feng Shui Bagua Map.
We'll
or
figure.
just search my name.
Right.
I think I'm still the only Tisha in the iTunes store. So
So another question, what if you share a space and don't have total control of the living areas? Roommates. This is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question.
It is a great question. And with regards to the Bagua map, this is where I recommend people using the Bagua map over their their bedroom or the space that they have total autonomy over. And so a Bagua map can be used over the whole house. It can be used over just an individual room, an individual office, even a desktop.
That's great.
Yeah, basically any
great.
space that has like 4 walls or 4.
And so, go ahead. You got a question?
No.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good. I love you. So what if you have problems in your house? Say your toilet overflows, or is there some kind of, is there something going on inside you, or is it just a mechanical failure?
Yeah, so both really. This is pretty much the second part of my book, how our home basically sends us these messages, much like our body sends us messages when
and
we're
health.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Our house is second to just our skin of our energy. It's basically this little cocoon around us.
Right.
And it's the space where all of our emotions are, poured out into. And so it really starts taking on our energy. And, when we are not conscious of some things going on in our lives, it starts to appear in our everyday world.
Interesting.
And our house starts to send us these symbols and these messages. It's very, Carl Jungian stuff here.
Yeah.
And so in the second half of my book, I break down the house from the ground all the way up to the roof to all the components and what the relationship is with us physically, mentally, or emotionally.
So you take parts of the house and you align it to parts of the body that need to be looked at. Is that so? What's going on with the toilet?
Yeah.
No, seriously, I want to know what's going on with the toilet.
Well, the emotions are over. Have gotten clogged up. And then run or whatever the toilet's doing.
So if the toilet's overflowing or stopped up, you
stopped
say
up
it's stopped
emotions,
up. You have stopped up emotions.
Yeah.
It's so
water is
about your emotions.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And ghosts too. Actually,
I want to get to
write
the
about
ghosts.
Yeah, you're right about ghosts in that second part of the book.
Yeah. So ghosts, it's about allowing other energy into your space. I mean, basically, if we don't take up our space, whether it's in our physical body, our home, then someone else will.
Interesting.
And
another being, another energy spirit.
Yes.
Oh, nobody's coming in my house. I can tell you that. There ain't no room for any other energy in there.
No, there's not. With two fabulous, amazing, powerful people living in that home, there's no room.
No room.
No room at the end.
But ghosts enter spaces where there's not, and they don't necessarily need to be loud ghosts. But how do you feel that? Do you feel it? Do you go in a room? Do you say there's a spirit here?
Well, usually my client knows, and that's they know, and I have to. You'd be surprised how many people want their ghost there.
Oh, I'd want somebody there. I'd love to talk to a ghost. You kidding me? Yeah. I'd have no problem chatting them up.
They keep it interesting.
I would.
They give you good stories to tell.
We have a lot of great questions coming from the chat room today, so keep it up. What do you recommend for home buyers when they are looking for a new home? What are the top 2 energies to look for, if there are top 2 energies?
Yeah, this is what I talk a lot about in the beginning of my book. First of all, location. This is a universal principle. This is actually what Feng Shui is based on. It's what realtors, the mantra of realtors. This is one thing we can all agree on. And Feng Shui starts with the land. It starts with the neighborhood. If one thing's off, it'll start to domino in all areas. So the first thing is definitely location. There's you can change a lot within a house, but you can't change its location.
Wow. So wait, do we get to the 2?
Within the location,
right?
The lot, how it sits on the lot, is it sloping downward? That's very much indicative of the energy going down versus kind of sitting up and feeling spacious. So the lot that the house sits on is very important.
The angle of the lot is important. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The angle of the lot. But wait, all those rich people in Malibu, they're angling towards the sea. What's up with that?
Well, sitting up is a nice thing.
Oh, it's a nice thing.
Yes.
Okay, so sitting up.
But if you're looking at your door, you're like looking up.
Okay, that's not a good thing.
That's right.
Okay.
You can have obstacles in a lot of areas of your life. Yeah.
So top 2 energy, location and angle of the house. That's funny.
Maybe the top 3 should be location.
Oh, really? Okay, got it. Location.
And actually, Val just said that sucks for people who invested in a land that's not built and balanced. But do you think that's part of reflection of where they are, and maybe they have to clear some obstacles in order to get to a different place?
Yeah, we attracts like, and so we are attracted to houses and spaces for a reason. However. The more conscious we can be, the more conscious we can make decisions.
Right.
This even goes to numerology. You're going to attract to the number of space that you're vibrating with. But if you have more consciousness and being aware of what's a better fit for you, then you can change these patterns.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. These are great. And I know okay. So we're running out of time, and I love it. One more quick question. What if I love this, till death do us part. What if you're clean and your spouse is just filled with clutter?
Right.
Not that I know this at all. Or am I laughing because I'm close to it at all? But what if that has occurred?
This is the yin and yang. This is what they mean by yin and yang.
Right.
Opposites. And so this happens a lot. Neat freak attracts the pack rat.
Right.
And now it's all about boundaries. And
Okay.
this is very indicative within the relationship as well, of setting boundaries of, what's yours and what's mine, what's the common spaces, where can we compromise.
Right.
So it's usually very much a mirror of the relationship in some ways as well.
Don't listen to that, Val. Anyway.
Do you have any recommendations for? So a lot of fixed signs and cancers tend to hold on to things.
Yeah.
things like physical things and memories and all that.
I won't take any offense.
Do you have any tips for like how do you let go? How do you know when to let go of stuff?
Yeah, when your world starts to feel like it's closing in on you.
Right. There you go. There you go. I have no problem get rid of stuff. That's never been a problem with me.
We all have different sense of how much stuff we want around us, and that's great. But when it starts to feel like your world's closing in on you, you know you got to get rid of some stuff.
That's good stuff. Tish, this is so great. Thank you so much for taking the time. It went really fast, as it always does. Tell us about your book, your website, where people can get your stuff. And you can be hired as a consultant, which is awesome. And you're here in Los Angeles. You also will fly. You have a lot of clients in Nashville and across the world. So let's give everybody your information before we go.
Yes, you can find me at my website, tishamorris.com.
Okay.
My book that just came out in December is Mind, Body, Home.
Okay.
I have a great online course starting February 12th.
Great.
You can feng shui your own home. This is like feng shui for the DIY. And then I'll also train for people to become certified feng shui practitioners.
Awesome.
And so I have a course coming up end of April in LA.
And all this can be found on www.tishmorris.com. We're putting it in the chat room. It's going to go on our Facebook today as well as we'll tweet it out as well. Thank you again, Tish.
Thank you.
And before we go, don't forget, sign up for our newsletter. Mark Zuckerberg is trying to get richer just on me and not allowing me to utilize his service. So sign up at purepollino.com. And this way you can get all the information, all your astrological scopes for the week. And you can find out who is coming up on our show, where to get all their information. Everything's going to be in these newsletters. Follow us at Pure Pollino on Twitter, also Pure Pollino on Instagram, and of course, Facebook.com/Pure Pollino. Rachel Lang 11 on Twitter. Thursday, what happens when you leave Wall Street for the beckoning tastes and smells of your culinary passions? The wayward chef Christina Topham is with us. Also, right now, get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. She has Colleen, Lisa, and Chava. They're ready to get their life wheels balanced and their critical thinking smog checked. Dr. Marissa Pay, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura, is up next, so stay tuned. Here's my quote. It is very important to generate a good attitude, a good heart as much as possible. From this, happiness in both the short term and the long term for both yourself and others will come. That's from the Dalai Lama. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.